Ladies and gentlemen, I figured that it'd probably be a good idea if I stopped watching The Office on repeat as soon as the season starts on Netflix, and probably do some a little bit more productive, like I don't know, make a fucking video or something. So I've been rotating between The Office and Parks and Recs and Friends when it was on Netflix. Once one show ends, I just move on to the next one. So now it's gonna be pretty much start Parks and Rec after The Office is finished. So I figured take a little break from rewatching the show for the millionth time and check out this game. So this game is Journey of Life, and it was given to me by the developer. So shout out to the devs for providing me with the key, or publisher, I suppose. I wanted to make a fully fledged what in the world is on this game and kind of go through, dissect it, and pretty much see what the game has to offer. However, there's a little bit of a problem. As you can see here, I can't continue or load the game. So recently there has been an update that pretty much erased 1 hour's worth of gameplay that I had, like a little bit of progress. I don't know exactly why. It was a surprise for me, and I don't know. I'm kind of over it because, as it stands, the game is next on the list. So even though I have played it before, I feel like as a thank you to the publisher for giving me the key, I should at least just make some kind of video on it and see what it has to offer. Let's check out the settings menu first. We have general, really nice. I like these options to be present in the games. Makes things a little bit easier or harder. If you want, you can highlight a bunch of stuff so they can stand out if they're collectible and whatnot. Controls. These are the sensitivities and all that stuff, which is pretty awesome. We have key bindings. Always nice to see that you can rebind the keys. Pretty awesome. So nothing crazy there. Show FPS. That's pretty cool. I'd like to see that because can I do it now? No, I cannot do it now. I'd like to see that because for some reason GeForce Experience is not showing me my frame rate, so that would be nice to know how the game performs after a couple of updates since I last played it. Audio quality. I don't really get this one. I don't know how it would impact performance. I mean, if you're really running it on a microwave, maybe, but I'll just have it on ultra. Display, ultra wide support. It seems, I think it was good. It has been a few months since I played it, so we're gonna have to check that out. And then we got graphics, which are very nicely categorized. You can turn motion blur off, and the background here kind of shows you what you're changing, which is pretty awesome. As you can see, when we adjust the shadows, holy fuck, if you turn off the shadows, yeah, we're gonna have them on ultra. Textures, I actually, you know what, okay, I want to see, oh, that doesn't really change. Post-processing. Now this is where I'm gonna have my biggest beef with the game. It's gonna be the post-processing. Unfortunately, it is under one blanket, and it doesn't tell you what those options are. You can kind of imagine. I mean, I'm guessing ambient occlusion is going to be part of that, and subsurface scattering or whatnot. But the game is in early access. I'm not going to dissect it too much right now. This is an A to Z after all, but it would be nice to separate them, if not at least tell people what they are, and have the ability to turn them off instead of just low. Effects. I don't know what kind of effects this means, but something changes on the background, I think. Something flashes and then it turns back to normal, so that's pretty weird. Foliage, low and ultra don't really have a much difference. View distance, yeah, not immensely far to begin with. And field of view, I respect the field of view as always. So let's start a new game and see. Boars. This is kind of funny. You don't need an apostrophe on this, but I noticed it when the game was loading, and I just kind of had to point it out. This is a survival game. It's called Journey of Life. It has survival, building elements. Oh wow, he. What's funny is that my character actually saved. This was you can't rotate it, which is kind of silly. When I played it back then, a few months ago, I noticed that the character was blurry in the character creation, and the game kind of focuses on the background. I did mention it to the developer, but I don't think they addressed it yet by the looks of it. But that is definitely something that's happening. Has a lot of customization, which is really nice. The developer definitely put a lot of attention to this, so bravo there. We're gonna start game. The sensitivity is definitely way higher when you start, but here we go. This is Journey of Life. This is what it looks like. This is very, very, very early access, so give it a chance before you judge it too much. These question marks give you a little bit of a walkthrough on how to play the game for sure. Very appreciated and smartly placed around the world, I have to admit. Very nice to see. Next. That gives you a little bit of a breakdown on how you can craft stuff. Of course, this is if you've played. Oh wow, this is a lot of stuff. If you have played, 0 doesn't work for the FPS, so interesting. If you have played any survival game before, I think you kind of know what to expect. Let me see if I can increase the audio just a little bit. So there's sprinting, there's jumping, and there's supposed to be wildlife as well. Now, one thing that kind of concerned me was the map size. Obviously, I don't know if you can craft a map. I don't know what is reachable and what is not. Last time I was kind of too busy trying to figure out the crafting elements on this game. So I don't really have a chance to explore as much, and it certainly doesn't seem like a lot of this land is traversable. There's also a huge problem with the gamma, as you can see. It's sort of been fixed. It was a lot more white, and this was a lot more dark, so the contrasting wasn't really happening very well, in all honesty. So let me see if some of it has been fixed a little bit. Okay, gonna increase the gamma to 120. Actually 110. Let's see what 110 has to offer. So slightly more visible on the shadows here, and this is a little bit more blinding, but not. This isn't nearly as bad as it was when I initially played it. So definitely want to make sure that that's mentioned. So press E to pick up. We're not going to be able to craft anything right now because we don't have much materials, but you can do T mode. Now, one of the things that I noticed was, see the texture on the base of the building here? It's kind of like one of those static textures that doesn't actually move along with the object. I am fairly certain that's a bug and that's not going to be in the game. It is very distracting, but it's not a deal breaker, obviously, because once you place it down, then you're not really going to have to worry about it. And obviously, it's a placeholder, so it is not going to be final here. So, yeah, I'd like to think at least that it's not going to be a problem that is distracting. So, I don't want to really focus on the crafting as much, in all honesty, or the survival aspect. I do see that my water is fruits. Yeah, you can pick up fruits. Fruits will be your best friend because they will satisfy your thirst and they will also satisfy your hunger. So if you're running, if you're finding the thirsting, also there's an immense amount of pop-up here, which is fairly annoying. Okay, he didn't add that in the mode. What I did suggest, one of my suggestions was that I'd like to be able to hold E to harvest instead of mashing it, and that's not been added yet. But I'm sure the game is slowly and steadily being yeah, worked on. I want to see if I picked anything up yet. I don't really see. Ah, man, it was really, really. There's a technology tree, by the way, which is pretty awesome. Because there's a lot of crafting in the game. Like, if you dedicate the time and everything on the game, which you absolutely need to, you're gonna find that there's a lot of stuff for you to do here. I don't really see the fruit. I don't think I have fruit yet, but there's a guideline, as you can see on the right hand. You will have to craft a backpack, a wooden axe, a hammer, a shovel, and a pickaxe. All of those will be used for exactly the same reasons that you might think they're going to be used for. So it's nice to have a guideline on how to play the game, which is pretty cool. I didn't get to see any wildlife when I played the game before. I like how the area is fairly small in the beginning so that you don't get lost, and then presumably, as I can see here, it kind of opens up for you. So that is pretty cool. Here we go. Can I get some of these apples? Hopefully. This would be nice if I could hold down the E button instead of having to spam it. Let's see, what do we got? Yes, harvest. Take that. Can I use? Okay, right click and use. That's how it works. As you can see, my thirst went up, which is pretty cool. And you do have a stamina, which drains relatively fast. There's not a lot of draw distance. It's not very far. I can absolutely see the pop in, and it is a little bit distracting, but with the FPS not working and definitely not feeling over 60 FPS, I'd say that some optimization is probably going to have to take place here. I like the nearby feature, by the way. It works after you start harvesting stuff, but if you don't want to go around and trying to pick things up, which clearly I cannot here, you can, oh, okay, well, there you go. The backpack is going to be very important, by the way. You're going to have to build the backpack, but the nearby stuff, that's pretty nice. Your inventory is extremely low, so you're going to have to worry about let's see, you're gonna have to worry about managing it a lot. So I want to craft a backpack, so we need 2 leaves and 2 straight solid sticks and a fiber rope. The fiber rope is crafted by here we go, fiber rope. I can craft 2 fiber ropes. Oh, there's a time limit, of course. Okay, so we got the fiber ropes. We can make a hammer, which is used for, it unlocks the table, which is pretty cool. So it's a pretty nice thing. We're gonna have to find the leaves now. As you notice, straight solid stick, the straight solid stick is on the ground. I cannot pick it up. Don't get it twisted, because you I'm gonna have to drop this. It may say that, hey, you can craft this, and it detects that there's stuff on the ground, but once you move away, you're gonna realize, hey, here's the leaves. Nice. It can be chopped with an axe or a knife. There's no leaves. Let me see. I bet the axe and the knife is going to make it a little bit faster. Okay. Here's the leaves. Now we can probably craft it. Yep. Now that we have the leaves, as you can see, they're on the ground. They're not in my inventory, but I can still craft the backpack. I would absolutely love for this to be gone. The time. It's a little bit of a waste of time. So it doesn't really belong in these crafting games. This is the only crafting game that I've played that I've seen this be a thing, besides 7 Days to Die, where you actually have a reason to be challenged by it. So we need to make a shovel, pickaxe. Not gonna worry about it really. I'm just gonna be more of an exploration. I do want to look at the crafting, the technology here. Hunting is not unlocked for now. I think we have to unlock it later. Mango. Ooh, we can, yeah, that's pretty useful. You can make a farm lot plot, which is nice. A lot of survival games have that. Most notably, Island has a farming thing, which works pretty nicely. Got a bunch more stuff here. Saw blade, yeah. It does go into it pretty deeply. And I know that the guy making this is very ambitious as to how many more things they want to add here, but my main concern is the foundation. You can have all the crazy stuff you want in the game, all the most convoluted crafting and everything, but if the game as a base, as a unit, is not quite as functional as it would require to be in order for all these things to be implemented properly, then it would definitely fall short. I would like to see a little bit more of an optimization. Obviously, the graphics are not anything to lose your mind over, but I do understand that it's still in early access. But as you can see, we're moving past the area that we're at, and there was a significant amount of pop-in, which definitely distracts. And if this is the map, then it is pretty small. There's a wreckage there. That's actually pretty cool, but nothing to actually go and explore on, which is pretty weird. What is that? Oh, okay, you can go underground. There's a squid. The underground is not too ugly looking. It's actually pretty nice. It's getting nighttime soon, as it seems. That's, if you like what you see, if you want to support the project of the game, that makes a lot more sense. We still haven't seen any wildlife. I don't know what will it take for that to happen. I do like that. Oh shit! Well, that didn't work out. I do like how even though the hunger and not the hunger as much, but the thirst goes down relatively quickly, it's also just as easy to gather up some fruit and eat it, and I have to worry about it. So, even though it's a pain in the ass in all these survival games, this game makes it a little bit more easy for you to manage it. So, bravo on that one. I don't want to be too critical on this one. I mean, this is probably going to be considered as a ADZ as well as a first impressions, I guess. Because technically, this is the second time I play the game. Well, and my stamina's gone. I like the lighting effects. God, raise a little bit. No, they're good. They're good. Not too aggressive, yet very noticeable. They don't impair my vision, so I definitely appreciate that. Still no still no signs of any wildlife, which kind of makes the whole boar warning redundant, or unnecessary rather. So this is Journey of Life. It's a crafting survival game in which you craft while you try to survive and explore at the same time. It is still significantly early access. The last update was about a couple of months ago, and the update before that was also about, I want to say, a month before that. So it's taking a little bit of time for this next update to come out, but I'm sure that it's definitely coming out soon. I definitely, when I played the game, I made a huge list of suggestions and issues that I found with the game that I emailed to the developer. So hopefully he addresses them. Wow, that's a ship right there. Well, that's gonna take a while to get to, but I'm sure you can get to it. There you have it, guys. Journey of Life, available on Steam on Early Access. Hope to see you next time.